How's everybody doing tonight? This is Tom Sawyer Piper coming at you from the Piping Shed. First off, I want to apologize for the inactivity lately. If you want a glimpse into my life right now looks like being on campus for my classes, usually 9 hours a day. I'll go in for my first class around 1 o'clock, and most days I don't get off till 10, which is around the time it is right now. It's going on 10 o'clock as I shoot this. I just came back from my short day, which is 1 to 9. And that schedule is Monday through Thursday. And on the weekend I work. Anywhere between the hours of 9 o'clock and 10. But yeah. I haven't had time much to smoke a pipe, let alone to shoot a video. But I did have time tonight, and I had a little something I wanted to show you guys. So I decided I would sit down and show you what I wanted to present. First off, smoking. This new to me, got this about 4 days ago. This new to me Bones Stubby. I forget the exact model name, but he calls it Stubby. So and in it I have a little just for hims shortcut to mushrooms. Very nice. Very nice blend for no one who's looking for a mildly sweet English. And while I'm here, I want to do this as kind of like a VR. No one asked the question, but it's been being asked recently. So today, to segue into that, today, Javier over at Javi Pipes did a video on the Corncob Piper, who is leaving the YTPC. For anyone who doesn't know, he had a medical incident at work, and you can go find his original video. I didn't watch it the whole way through because it was like almost 50 minutes long. And I will admit I have a shorter attention span than most. But basically he had a stroke, I believe. He had a stroke in the parking lot where he works. and it's either the medication or just the simple fact that his body is trying to kill him. It means he can't smoke a pipe anymore. Which I will give him props for. It's just a hobby after all. It's not worth literally dying for to be able to smoke a bowl. But before I get into that any further, I have a yabo. Because I have opened one package already on the channel, I can say that this is a yabo. Yet another box opening. So, this is not from any particular company this time. This was an eBay find. I won an auction, and I haven't seen it. I don't know if the guy screwed me over yet or not, as I open the package with you. So we're seeing it for the first time together. Very well packed. This is exciting for me. I want you guys to get a load of this. Dorchester by Esoterica Tabacchiana. I have never had an Esoterica blend, and I won this. I think I ended up paying something to the tune of $30 plus shipping, which was admittedly a bit steep for me, but hopefully it's worth it. And if I'm looking on here correctly, so I don't know how Esoterica dates their tins, or if they date them at all, but this looks, there's a number right up there. You can maybe see it. I don't know if that's going to show up in the on the video, but it's a number sequence. It's 79, 90, 12. So I'm hoping that that means that there's 6 years of age on this tin of Dorchester. It definitely looks like it, because the front is faded. Front is very faded. I'll just read you the description on the tin. Dorchester, a rich, full, matured Virginia with Louisiana perique. Pipe tobacco entirely made, blended, and aged in the British Isles. 2 grams. So I am looking forward to cracking this open on another video and giving you my impressions. So, back to the main topic. So, a few people have already done farewell videos for the Corncob Piper. All expressing the same general sentiment. The phrase I keep hearing in these videos is, what is wrong with people today? So I'm going to attempt to answer that. To give you a little backstory, like I said, Corncob Piper, he had a stroke out on the driveway wherever he works. I'm not sure what he does. I was just introduced to his videos recently. But he was at his job, went out, had a stroke. Apparently his blood clots, and it doesn't eat away at it like a normal person's blood would. And in his story, he said that not one, not two, but 3 people drove past him without offering to help him. And he's face down on the ground, can't move the left side of his body, and he's desperately trying to fish flop his way right side up. And that's generally when you hear these people saying, what's wrong with people today? So I'm going to attempt to answer that. Or at least my perspective on it. What I think is wrong with people today. So, you remember as a kid, for me it wasn't that long ago. Rewind the clock 5 years and I was still a kid. But you'll remember growing up, Mom and Dad told you not to talk to strangers. I told you not to talk to strangers. Don't go with people. The one my dad liked to say was, there is no puppy in the back of his van. And in general, that's what's wrong with people today. They're untrusting of everyone else. If you go back 30 years, my mom and dad talk about how they hitchhiked to get places. No one will pick up a hitchhiker anymore. And it's partly due to the fact where you see on the news all those people who've been murdered by psychopaths hitchhiking. So it's not that there's anything wrong with people today. It's the environment that the people now live in. It's not necessarily that those 3 people who didn't stop to help, that something's wrong with them. There's something wrong in America when people don't feel like it's safe anymore to pull over, get out of their car, walk over to someone who's just laying down on the ground and say, hey buddy, you need some help? We become hyper paranoid almost. There's danger around every corner. People can't be trusted That's what's wrong. And I will admit I am kind of the same way. I'm not a small guy. I'm about 6'1", 250 pounds. I don't look like someone that you could probably go out and kill easily. But I'm still hypersensitive to that kind of event happening. To the point where there was a guy who, if you go out in my neighborhood, if you go out my driveway, go down the road, there's a stop sign, and then there's the highway. There was a guy walking. I couldn't say which direction. He was walking. How would I describe it? He was walking on the left-hand side going into traffic, and he's standing out there with his thumb out, right? He's got his thumb out because he's trying to hitchhike. And I said out loud, I didn't even say it in my head, I said it out loud, no one's going to pick you up. They're too afraid. So, maybe that's what's wrong with people today. And I can understand with the Corncob Piper, his deal was a little bit special because it's not like the people who were driving by never saw him. They're working in the same building. And he doesn't look homeless because it's an office job. So maybe there is something wrong with those three people. Maybe they just don't like him. No offense, Corncob Piper. But there's nothing wrong with people today. If there's anything wrong with people today, it's the amount of fear-mongering that's going on. People are just, they're too afraid to walk up to someone or pull over for a hitchhiker. They would rather not take the risk. It's about as likely as getting struck by lightning. Don't quote me on that, because I haven't looked up the statistics. But I would say it's about as likely that you'd be struck by lightning as you were to be killed by someone who is hitchhiking. So yeah. Well guys, this has been Tom Sawyer Piper, signing off, wishing you all a great weekend, and happy piping.